You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from a plane, a train, and an automobile. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Make a fucking noise. Make a fucking noise, Dominic.
What's up, motherfuckers?
Oh, hey, this is the Wicked Theory Podcast. This is episode 133. And
Swearing at everybody already.
that's it. We're just breaking all the rules, folks. We got, my name is Bill Sweeney. We got Uncle Jay.
Fucking A.
We got Dom Tori.
What's up, y'all?
That's it. I thought you had something.
Oh, yeah, you want a fucking John Goodman quote?
Yeah.
I'll give you a John Goodman quote.
What do you got?
Fuck you, Ed. Straight from John Goodman. He just texted me, all right? Fuck you, Ed.
Wow, that's amazing. Spot on, by the way. I didn't know you could do that good for John Goodman. And then we got Brother Bob on guitar.
What's up?
That's an odd guitar you got there.
Hello, what's up, everybody?
Fucking Ed ain't here.
Ed ain't here. It's Pick on Ed Day. No.
Pussy. Fucking pussy.
He said he wasn't feeling good.
It's pussy.
Well, because you think he's scared?
Yeah.
He's scared of coming here and
Getting worse.
And having, my tummy still feels not good. Like, I don't know, I guess. Hey, whatever. What are we going to do?
I think
You know
he.
what
are
if
we
he
gonna
stops
do?
feeling?
What was that?
I said, you know what would help? If he stops feeling.
Just no more feelings?
You know what I think?
What do you
I think
think?
he's editing the DCTV report, and he's a little fucking behind. So he told the boss man that I'm sick.
Yeah, I'm not going to make it. He said he was going to send it to me like within 5 minutes of him making that call. So actually, I'll go check and see if it's there.
That's a chicken shit pussy asshole.
I mean, he was editing it last week up until
Jeez.
before and even after.
Tell me how you really feel, Jay.
No, that was my best Steven Seagal.
All right.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, that was from I think it was Out for Justice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a fucking classic.
Bobby Lupo.
Anybody see Bobby Lupo?
Bobby Lupo.
Bobby Lupo.
Hey, we see Richie.
Everybody see Richie?
Richie.
You see Richie, you tell him I'm looking for him, all right? I don't even know if that's in there, but I think it sounds like it. Yeah, so this is episode 133. We're going to get to some news. We're going to do a couple emails. We got some reviews, kind of. Let's see. We got a chat room game that we do. If we got some people in the chat room, looks like we got a couple people hanging out. We'll get to that in a second.
Nice.
We're going to get to emails. So, but if you want to send an email, you can. You still got time. Podcast@wickedtheory.com.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this live, you have time. But if
I
you're
mean,
not listening live, you can still send one.
Yeah, just picture like a dramatic scene from an action movie where like the gate's closing and like you have to get through it like at a certain time.
The music's ramping up.
You got to get that email in. Yeah. Just send that email through the gate. Yeah.
Send us your shit.
Or Jaws.
Exactly.
Jaws will do.
Yeah.
Land Shark. All right, so that's awesome. If anybody wants to check out the DC TV report, we were mentioning that. Hey, go do that. If you like DC TV
Any like reports?
and you like people to break it down, yeah, sure, absolutely. You want to report about that and any one of those particular shows, even, you want to hear some breakdown on it, you can actually go look it up. The descriptions on the episode, we got the time codes. You can just jump to the show you want to hear. You don't gotta listen to it all.
Yeah, like Flash.
Like, what if you just want the
Like,
Flash? You know what I mean?
Lucifer.
Arrow.
Yeah, all those like really mediocre television shows.
They all start out so strong, though.
Yeah. What do we got on the docket today?
So,
Bill?
last thing to mention to let people know and remind them is that we did post up a Thanksgiving kind of super impromptu random episode thing that is on our Patreon account, but it is available to the public. People can go check it out over there as opposed to the regular feed. Patreon.com/Wicked Theory. And we just kind of hung around. It was me, Bob, and Ed.
You and I weren't there.
Nah, I mean,
You guys, yeah.
Well, there's
What
two
the
guys.
fuck away?
There's two guys that come around here going, "Hey, you want a pod? You want a pod?" You know, and this time it wasn't you, Dom. It was Ed, and you're in Jersey, so.
Well, I just show up anyway.
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean,
turn the shit on.
Yeah.
You just showed up at like 2:30 today, and you haven't left, and you're not going to leave until about 1 o'clock in the morning.
That burger was calling me, my friend.
Did he really get here that early?
He came all the way from New Jersey to have a burger. I guess, and to socialize. Me and him went to the diner. We had a burger together. But
at the Unicorn, which, for the record, about 2-3 years ago, was a dump.
Oh yeah, the Unicorn, the Unicorn diner.
But now they make great food.
But it's a good diner now. So.
Yeah. That's our usual show haunt after show.
Right.
After show.
Yeah,
After the after show.
Yeah, and we picked up Bill. We drove down.
Yeah.
We talked some shit.
Yeah. Who's this we?
You and me did.
You said we picked up Bill. You
It's
and the
him
other.
and his alter ego.
I was gonna say
Him and his fucking personality.
Okay.
Yeah, all three of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so go check out that Thanksgiving episode. Bill and Ed did it. I didn't get the invite.
You're driving a Jeep. Where are you
Well,
putting
I
all
did it
these
too.
people?
I'm not gonna.
Thanks, I did it too.
And Bob, I apologize.
That's all right. I made up for my absence. Because I did a little Thanksgiving message that's on Twitter floating around.
That's right. That's right. You did.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, people should check that out.
I'm a little tipsy, so beware.
In
Now-
the video or now?
right. Now,
Both?
Both.
Now
I
and
got
then.
both.
Both.
You're covered on both ends. On both
Yeah,
ends.
both.
As you're swigging. What are you drinking there? You're drinking a little.
Johnny Walker Black Label.
Oh, okay. I thought it was apple juice.
A cigar.
I thought maybe it was just apple
Looks
juice.
like apple juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My name ain't Ed.
TV whiskey. Is that what? I think someone called apple juice once.
What is
Someone
it,
said it to me?
Santori? Santori.
I don't know whoever said that. If I heard that somewhere. What are you drinking? TV whiskey? And I was like, what? I was a kid, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Some old guy.
Sounds like a fucking
Like
80s thing.
like an old man said it to me. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like one of my dad's like two friends. You know.
Like old granddad.
Probably. It's probably Sal. Yeah.
Make it Santori.
Here we are again. So yeah, check out the Thanksgiving special thing. I don't know how special it is, but get back to me. Let us know. Let us know how special it was. Was it very special?
It was cute.
I got jokes in there. I tell
Yeah,
some
I know,
jokes.
I
I
read
tell some
something.
jokes. Jay, how good were those jokes, Jay?
Yeah, I chuckled at a few.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Because they hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking about maybe trying to bring some comedy to the show.
Yeah.
Like,
all right. We should have more fun here.
Like, I mean, like formal comedy where
Okay.
like devote like a segment to like
right.
like a stand-up segment where like we just all throw jokes around.
some shenanigans.
Yeah.
Bring jokes. Like bring literal bring a joke next week.
Yeah, like
And is
and not like a roast joke, but like a joke. Like
Like a
make
joke.
up a joke, bring it,
Right.
say it.
Not like
Whoever wins,
Right.
and then they fucking
Don't
get
bring-
a blowjob or something. I don't know.
But we're not.
I think they're laughing at us already
Bill,
for the wrong reasons.
not jokes like the ones you pulled out for the Thanksgiving.
That's what I want to know. Like
I didn't hear them because I didn't get invited.
He was
so-
doing
They were like third grade special.
they were like Thanksgiving jokes on a Google search, so it was painful stuff. It was like,
Henny Youngman stuff.
why didn't the turkey eat? It was stuffed. Like, you know what I mean? These kind, or stupid stuff like that. But basically, what you are saying is don't come with jokes like you found on the web.
Like
Like
retarded
write
shit.
your own stuff.
Yeah. Like an original like serious bit where it's like a stand-up thing. Not everybody has to participate. But
Hey, folks, let me tell you.
I mean, you could be a jerk off about it. But,
I could.
yeah.
Like you can't use what's the opposite of Christopher Reeve joke?
I think
Right,
this
right.
is talk
Well,
for
that's
the
a- isn't-
after show.
That's fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
The only Christopher Reeve joke I know is a visual anyway.
Oh no. Okay.
It's an Eminem joke, right?
The opposite of Christopher Reeve is Christopher Walken.
Right. I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that one.
Hey,
That kind of.
ouch.
Yeah, did you hear that?
Hurts. All right, so I don't know. We got no chat room game. So who's in the chat? Let's see who's in the chat.
What was your chat room game?
I didn't
man?
have one. I just realized I didn't ever put one in. We can make one up on the fly.
About
Hang on, I'll
mixing up Christopher Reeve and Christopher Walken.
I knew.
movies.
I knew. Because you know why though? Not because to put it on you, because that's all. Immediately my head went to it too. I was like something with jokes, something with Christopher Reeve, something with Christopher Walken.
Nah,
it was
Christopher-
Like, it was like I'm trapped in the
I
last
got
10
one.
seconds.
That's kind of what happens.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken, a Superman movie.
Superhero
Movie. Okay.
All right. See what you do with it, guys.
We got some people in there tonight, though, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we should have had a fucking chat game planned.
Yeah, let's
Palmer.
But we didn't actually know we were going to get anybody. We never know who's going to come in through
That's
those
true.
doors. You know
That's
what I
true.
mean? But we got Clint in the house. Clint Thiel is back.
Oh, hey, what's up, Clint?
John Zombie Thompson.
John Zombie John Thompson and Wesley Ryan Gaskins. Clint Thiel, host of the Geek Dig podcast.
I was just going to say on the...
Go check it out, folks. Available where all good podcasts live for your pleasure.
For the chat games. Give us the real reason Ed's not here.
Whoa. I don't know if I want to open up that door. Oof. Yeah. Clint's got a joke real quick. Why does Santa have such a big sack? He only comes once a year.
You see that?
All right, so,
how does he know that about Santa's sack?
Christopher Walken, a movie. I mean, Christopher Walken, a superhero thing. How do you even do that? We got to give him at least one example.
Take a Christopher Walken film.
Right.
And make it a Superman movie or a superhero movie.
Okay, so that just requires some knowledge.
So instead of, the Deer Hunter.
All of a sudden, 6 people are on Christopher Walken's IMDb right now.
Instead of the Deer Hunter. Right, the Deer Guardians.
All right, fair enough. The Deer Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. There's your example.
Do your best.
All right, but good luck, and if it's good, you'll get the bell, and we'll just kind of move forward with that. We're gonna get to the news, I think, at this point.
Yeah, we got
news o'clock.
We got some really good news this week, actually.
Some good news for once.
Well, not
in this age,
like a lot.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
Free bird.
Yeah, Palmer, there's a delay in the broadcast, so you were already
too late
typing that into the document after I had
chosen.
Yeah, we had already started putting that into motion.
We already moved on. Too late.
Yeah. Fucking, what's he doing over there?
He was trying his best, but there's a delay in the audio. So,
he was trying his best, man, all right? Just don't blame him, all right?
He was trying his best, but there's a delay in his brain.
Actually, I want to hear more of Dom's impression of me, actually, now that is that me, or is that just the only voice you do?
Mickey Mouse.
No, that's like the, like I'm sticking up for my boy.
Oh, sticking up for my friend. Yeah. My buddy. Yeah. He's gentle, like me. That's why we're buddies. We're just trying.
Is that too Mickey Mouse? Am I gonna get a fucking?
That's like
That's
like the gingerbread guy from fucking Shrek.
Yeah,
holy shit!
It is.
Toss me a buffalo wing.
Yes.
So, all right. Leave him wanting more, folks. Let's roll right into the news. Blomkamp. Neil Blomkamp.
A force in science fiction to be reckoned with as of late.
Chappie.
Well, no.
And
no, District 9 was awesome.
Well, I'm just naming stuff he made. Did he not make Chappie?
Yeah, he did make Chappie.
Chappie was all right.
Chappie was good. A lot of people like Chappie.
I like District 9.
District 9 is it's a darker movie.
Didn't he do Elysium too?
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that's right. That is him. Mm-hmm. But so guess what? Guess what's up on his
I don't get a bell for knowing that. No. That's normally not my wheelhouse.
Well, all right. I give you I'll give you like that.
Oh wow!
I don't even know if
the broken bell.
Yeah, I don't even know if the mic picked that up. Well, I just you gotta wow us. You know what I mean? Like, it was good for you. It was good dig for you.
Oh.
But to get the bell, I mean.
Did you know Citizen Kane was about a vagina?
That's kind of right. That's kind of right. It's almost Rosebud. That's what William Randolph Hearst called his wife.
Fuck that guy.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're right, though. Fuck that guy.
But knowing that, everyone knows that. I get a full bell for that.
Well, I don't know. I think that's still a better reach. I think.
But a South African writer-director, I don't,
Yeah.
I don't normally know writer-directors of anything.
Okay.
I barely remember the actors' names in these movies.
Fair enough. I gave you a retrograde bell.
Oh, okay.
So, but anyway, this nutty bastard, he's going to be doing Fly to the Navigator.
I remember that.
I do. And
that was actually kind of cool on its own.
Yeah, so it's like one of these.
Why mess with something good?
Yeah, probably because they can.
Well, in that case, why don't they just redo the original Blade Runner? Now they got the new one.
Give it time. Give it time. But you know what it is too? Like this is a movie where there's nobody probably too hard attached to that being like their thing. Like no one's gonna remake Blade Runner or anything Ripley did until Ripley dies. Like you know what I mean? But this, you know, Flight of the Navigator, as much as it's a nostalgic kind of like thing, throwback to the '80s and stuff like that, it could use. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing an updated version of it. But the thing is, it's like you know. How dark is it gonna get? Dom, are you familiar with it?
No, I've never seen it.
So this is the thing where like this kid, just like this, I forget exactly how the ship finds him or if he finds it, but it's a spaceship, and it's just like it's an empty, self-controlled spaceship. It's got like it flies itself and stuff like that, but it does need a pilot.
Okay.
But so he stumbles on it, but he's like a young kid. He's like 10 or 12. And so he goes on this fucking crazy, like, zooming around, zipping around, and it's like chrome, so it's almost mirrored, so it just kind of like blends into everything.
Right.
But when he zips back to the house, it's like 10 years have gone by.
Yeah.
And so everybody thought he was gone, and so it becomes like, the government now wants him.
Wow,
or, you know what I
yeah.
mean? All this kind of cool stuff. So it's like an interesting twist, and the ship is kind of like a nice kind of like light personality of its own. It's almost kind of like, a boy and his dog almost, because the ship's got like a personality and a life.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of going for that E.T. kind of thing.
Actually, when Bill and I were talking, that
safe family sci-fi.
Yeah, like it was, and it definitely has like a following in that mid-'80s sci-fi kids thing,
right?
Like Last Starfighter,
and it also
got a following
back to the '70s Disney stuff like Return to Witch Mountain.
Yeah, that kind of a feel.
Of thing. Yeah, it's definitely family-friendly stuff. It was a good story, and it's enough action for the kids and for mom and dad to feel like they didn't get ripped off on the way in.
Now picture Neil Blomkamp directing that kind of a thing, which would be kind of out there.
Now, what did you say he did? He did District 9 and
Elysium and
so the kid's going to turn into the ship at some point.
So this this is a cool guy to have come on a project like this. This is this is cool.
See, that goes what I'm saying. If you get some like real talent in these remakes and reboots, you know what I mean? You could have something.
Because now you can turn it into a fucking goof to something that's like kind of like edgy and dark.
Right. Oh, just a little bit cooler, maybe just a little bit more grounded.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want it to go too dark. I like the idea that it feels like a thing like you could actually have
but
fun.
Nowadays,
I don't want it to turn into a super action adventure blockbuster thing.
Yeah.
Like,
and you also don't want after the movie, you don't want mom and dad to be bringing their kids to the ride thinking it's from the original movie, and it's this morbid, twisted, dark thing that they end up bringing the little kids to.
It's the fucking alien ship from Battleship. It's a
Hans Zimmer score.
Aliens exploding out of stomachs, the whole 9 yards. You know, you don't want that with your kid. So you don't want to go too dark.
I think Hans Zimmer just lets his cat walk across the keyboard.
Yeah,
like he just finds like one weird sound, puts it in the keyboard, and just like
he sampled it.
Throws the cat at it. I think that's kind of like what he happens.
Why not?
So very interesting news on that.
Yeah, so that's a good matchup, man.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So I'm cool with that. I normally probably wouldn't be because I'm riding on this wave of like sometimes this nostalgia shit's getting a.
You get somebody of talent.
Yeah,
you get somebody of talent that'll do something like that.
It feels like a good matchup. I got some faith in it. And then we got like a flurry of comic book movie casting news.
A couple are confirmed and a couple are rumored.
Yeah, so it looks like Lizzy Caplan is joining Gambit as Belladonna. So that's Gambit's like old school before he knew Rogue. It's his chick from back in New Orleans.
So we're getting an origin movie.
Yeah, definitely getting like a setup, or at least maybe he's going back there and she's still there. Because in the comics, that's how you find out about her anyway. Like I gotta go back home, or the X-Men end up in Louisiana, and it's like
maybe
I don't want.
Maybe it's how they do this backstory too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They start with him on the road or something, heading home, and he's having problems, and then he gets there, and we get his backstory.
Easily.
So Lizzy Caplan.
Lizzy Caplan
from Cloverfield. From
Sky High.
Sky High. All right, nice. Digging deep with them Disney productions. I don't know.
That's my shit.
I know. That's your jam. That's in your pocket. So that's good. That's a good matchup.
I was a kid when that shit dropped, so that's why. But yeah, I think Gambit has some good potential, man. I really do. I think.
Who's in it again?
Channing Tatum.
As if I didn't know. I was fucking with you. Of course, it's gonna be shit.
I think it has. I think it has potential. I think it's a character that doesn't really work great for comics because he's got like these weird powers where like it would look so much cooler on screen.
Look, I'll give it a.
So like I think if they do it, like if they just say fuck the comic, like the way they do it, like,
Okay.
and just do like a straight up like new thing with it,
Right,
but
right,
like
right,
keep like his origin story and his fucking powers and shit.
Right,
I think
right.
it could be cool, bro. I mean, anything you can make into a good movie when,
Just
when you
kinda
have the
strip it-
right team, you know.
Just
And-
kind of strip it down.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Bring it down to its basic ingredients.
I don't know why
and
everyone's so
then-
worried about it. I mean,
Well, I think it just is.
Channing Tatum.
That's what it is. I think.
Channing Tatum's great.
I think he
Fuck off.
is. It's just a thing, like, you know. It's
He should have been Deathstroke. Wow. He fucking should have been Deathstroke.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bold words from Dom Tory.
That was
No,
a bit on
that's-
the show at one point.
It was.
That was a bit.
It was supposed to be.
Fucking file it under the category, motherfucker.
right.
I don't
The
care.
wrong Magic Mike actor.
This has been Bold Words with Dom Tory.
I think he'd be a great superhero because he can act
I think he could too.
and he's funny as fuck.
I feel like
Right.
this is a weird matchup. That's my thing.
Look, I don't really know much about Gambit, like
Yeah.
what he looks like and his character, but like Taylor Kish would have even been fine with it. I think.
Yeah,
Like he
he's
was
physically and visually.
He was the
feels
role
like a
he
normal-
played him in. What was that? Origins.
Yeah,
X-Men
Wolverine,
Origins.
yeah.
Oh, Wolverine.
Yeah, and I get why they
Um,
cast him.
But
You
I
know?
don't know. I think if they just do it, I mean, they're not going to do it straight up different. They're going to do the comic, and it's going to be abysmal. But like, it has
He's gonna be
potential.
wearing that weird purple workout.
Yeah,
suit.
but you know, it has the potential if they
And a
treat
brown
it
overcoat.
the right way.
Right.
Yeah, they got to put him in some kind of tight Daredevil style suit, which kind of like has a purplish tint to it. When
Yeah.
the light is a certain way, or something like that.
Burgundy. It's burgundy.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, you got to do away with the suit. Just give him like the overcoat. Get rid
Yeah.
of the headpiece.
You find ways to kind of like translate that into something else. They can
Yeah.
find workarounds for it.
They did Deadpool, so they can do anything, in my opinion.
But see now, I was gonna say that where that differs is that like I feel like, well, to me anyway, what's his name is more of a surefire fit. Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool.
Right.
You know, as well as you know.
Well, and
you know
his
what?
he was like campaigning for Deadpool for like what 10 years.
Yeah, but I just feel like just actor and character, it's more of a lock fit. I don't know. That's just my issue. But you're right. I am kind of giving it a hard time without seeing anything.
Yeah, I
so.
think everybody's just got to chill out, man. I mean, let that studio do its thing. I think they've been doing a really good job recently. So.
Yeah, that's true. They are on a swing. So Grace Fulton in Shazam. I don't know who Grace Fulton is off the top of my head.
The guy that's directing Shazam, his name is David F. Sandberg.
Okay.
He directed a horror movie. He directed one of the Annabelle.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a sequel to Annabelle.
So who is he to this guy?
The girl that's in the movie, Annabelle Creation, they just got her into the Shazam movie.
Okay.
Yeah, she plays
Okay.
Natalie Wood in that, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Alright.
so that's to this guy how?
because
Because he directed it.
this guy
He directed
Sandberg
both.
He's
directed
directing
both.
both.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
is that's the director they chose for Shazam.
Right. Which is a weird fit, by the way. But
Yeah.
As far as the director,
Yeah.
it's a lot to kind of like. It feels like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal wants the Batman.
Yes, he does.
Does he want it? Like,
Yep.
has he said it, or is it just internet rumors?
No, they stated on
In
I
this
say give it.
particular-
I say give it to him.
Warner
if Ben
Brothers doesn't want to.
I say tell him to go fuck
if
himself.
Ben don't want it, give it to him. Give the guy a shot. He did all right with that boxing movie.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean?
Well, Southpaw, yeah, that was good.
Right. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
so why not give him a shot?
There you go.
You know, it can't hurt the character because the character's already had its lowest point.
Right.
So
With who?
Back in the '60s, I'm talking. Way
Oh,
back
yeah,
in the
yeah.
day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's not going to.
I don't even consider that like in the
Well,
same
I think too,
category.
like depending on like anybody,
Yeah.
most people would probably say just Schumacher, fucking Clooney.
Oh, fuck
Yeah.
yeah. Wow, I forgot about those.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
see,
Yeah.
Well,
that-
you know what?
you
I
blacked
actually
it out.
forgot about that too.
See,
so-
that's how
Yeah,
bad it was.
that's how bad it was.
Your
So I
body's
take
like
that
your
back.
body doesn't
Yeah.
want you to have that memory.
Right.
But my point of view on this is that if Ben doesn't want to do it,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't force him to do it. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Jake Gyllenhaal is a bad fit for any superhero role.
Yeah,
No.
In
he's
a
a
perfect
talented actor.
in a
right.
perfect world, I would have him play Nightwing, and Ben would stay on
Okay.
as Batman.
I like
Because
that.
I think Ben Affleck is the best Batman we've had to date.
I think
I've
it's-
been on record saying that.
Yeah.
I think he's the
Yeah.
most accurate. I think Christian
yeah.
Bale is a little bit better of an like he's a better actor. I think, and he was more compelling in that role.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when you're talking like plays it straight to the comic, really like portrays the character off the pages and the panels of the book.
And
I think Ben does the best
yeah,
job.
well, and when you look at him too, he's got the jawline that right out of the
There's
comic.
that one shot in Justice League, bro, and he's fucking shaven.
Yeah.
And he fucking like you get like a real good side profile of him, and you see the
realize what a
hair and
block-
everything.
You don't realize what a blockhead
And
he
I'm like,
has.
Yeah, he's got that boxy jawline
Fucking
and everything.
Bruce
Yeah.
Wayne.
So that's like right from the comic.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
like
he-
that Alex
but
Ross
if-
older.
But if
Bruce
he's
Wayne.
getting scared and he wants out, get him out. Give it to Jake. Give Jake a deal where, you know what, Jake, for the first movie,
Yeah.
we want a way out after the first movie, and we're going to give you we're not going to give you huge money in the first movie. If it's going to work, you're going to make you huge money in the second
So
and third.
hard though, man. Jay, go ahead.
Well,
It's your
no,
turn.
because Bill and I spoke about this earlier today. Was that they're portraying Batman in his mid to late 40s now. Jake Gyllenhaal is obviously in his.
Well, that's
you
the
know,
thing. This is
early
what I'm trying to
30s.
say.
All right, well,
You have to reinvent the character again.
Well, that's
and
the thing.
does that play with the general public? Like it's like
Batman
like-
does have to be able to look like he can keep up with the Justice League when he's in a Justice League movie.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I wouldn't mind if someone was a little bit younger. Next guy comes in is a little bit younger than Ben, but it feels like Jake looks a lot younger than Ben at this point because they're actually graying up Ben a little bit or letting his natural gray come out. Jake isn't known for letting that out, and also I feel like Jake is physically smaller. He's like a lot shorter than Ben. Ben is like already like 6 something.
right.
Like, you know, and
Yeah,
Jake
he's, like,
feels like he's
over
lying about his
6'1".
height, and he's probably going to be in stilts.
He's probably 5'9".
You know what I mean?
No, it's
Maybe.
the problem of
Yeah.
like Tom Cruise being Batman. It's
You
like
know what I
everybody
mean?
wants him to be Batman, but he's too small.
We run out of milk crates. You know what I
Right.
mean? A guy can only stand on so many before it gets
He could be
dangerous.
Robin.
He can be. He could be Damien.
Yeah. Hey, Dad, where are we going to fight justice?
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I think it's a shame that Ben Affleck is really
Kind of
really
thinking about
wants
like
out.
you know.
because
Nothing's
Yeah.
official yet.
Yeah,
You know,
and
of course, yeah, that's a good
and
point
he
too.
kind of has said that he's willing to kind of find a smooth exit, something that's not like just him just throwing it out. Like,
Well, in a perfect world, what they would really do, and it'd be ballsy as fuck on their part, is fucking do like one more Batman movie or something with him, set up Flashpoint, had the Flashpoint movie, be the Flash's main movie, then bring in fucking
I'm bringing a new
Negan
Batman.
as fucking Thomas Wayne Batman, and then you just wipe the slate clean, and it's fucking.
when you come back, there's just a new actor.
and now
playing
it's just
Batman.
a new Batman. It's a
Right.
new fucking
Like a whole
entire
new
new universe.
Yeah, like a whole new universe.
Wipe it clean with Flashpoint, then it's a whole new universe. And that's like a rumor that's like a possibility
Right,
because
yeah, sure.
I'm just saying Negan. I can't think of his name.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey D. Morgan. He's fucking like really campaigning for Thomas Wayne in,
Sure.
in Flashpoint.
Yeah.
That'd
So-
Why
be,
wouldn't you want to be like Batman's dad, who was a Batman of his own?
he's Thomas Wayne in the DCEU.
No, yeah.
He's officially Thomas Wayne.
I mean, he dies at the
he's in
beginning
BVS.
yeah. He dies in the
Does-
beginning. He's
It's an alternate universe
You
in
know,
Flashpoint, though, baby.
that's Martha's husband, for people who don't know, because Martha's obviously a very important character now, these days. But that's probably like the easiest way through all that. I really feel like the shame with Batman
ballsy,
is
though.
that they haven't like just found a way to make it like it's James Bond. Like, an actor will do it for a little while, and then somebody else comes in, and it's cool and it's fine. We just kind of find the right guy, and people will kind of all balk at first, but in the end, if we've got something good, it'll show. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, let Ben have it for a while. The problem is that Bond isn't in a shared universe where all of a sudden, like, this kind of shared continuity and cohesion is necessary. You know what I mean? So you
Right.
can do it with Bond. It's easier to do. Like, now it's like, oh, Jake's gonna run around with those same 5 people. All right, line up. Dips the lineup across the board dips a little in the middle now, but
well,
whatever.
that's what I'm saying. You got to redo the whole thing. So
Yeah.
then you do like the Teen Titans version.
Fucking get rid of them all.
Batman.
Wipe it clean. Get rid of Gal Gadot. Get rid of fucking.
Don't get rid of Gal.
I don't know. You keep the gal.
Well, also,
We're fucking wasting too much time on this. Let's go.
We kind of are.
well, one last thing
Sure.
on
Yeah, go
that.
ahead.
Also, just taking into consideration
Yeah.
that he's still attached to this thing, and
Right.
the fact
Right.
is he hasn't said no to this yet. You know what I mean? Which
Right.
intrigues
Well,
me
I don't
too.
think he can really say no because he's contractually obligated to do
Yeah.
so.
Right.
But he's looking for, if he's looking for a way out.
And that's the word
Yeah.
that's gotten out is that like he's considering finding a decent.
Yeah. He was trying to use this as a way to help shake up his career a little bit,
Right.
and it hasn't really proved to be that for him because the Superman Batman movie
Right.
was a dud. This one kind of hasn't made the money it should be, so he's looking for a way out.
According to chat room research by Clint Thiel, Jake Gyllenhaal, and he just writes Jake G because who can spell Gyllenhaal? He's 6 foot even. Clint agrees.
Okay.
Batman's lowest point was Clooney. So shitty they canceled the next movie that they had planned, which is true.
I'd even
One thing
argue.
they can't do is they can't take the nipples out of the suits.
They can't take it out of our memory.
No.
That's for sure. That's
No.
burned in there.
No, they owe us for that.
All right, so Ben Mendelsohn, for those who don't know that name, that's the guy who was the big baddie in
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Yeah. The guy in the all-white suit who liked his cape and liked to park far away from the house he's going to
Yeah.
and then
Right.
walk there.
Yeah, no offense to anybody that's got like a lisp or anything, but like it's just funny because he's got like some kind of like speech thing going
He's got a
on,
little palette thing.
and it's
Todd
like
McFarlane's
he's in his like 50s, I guess. Like it's funny
Yeah.
like to see like somebody of that age like in
Like-
movies like talking like that.
Yeah, it has a little
I
bit of
mean,
a thing.
more power to him, obviously, but
I thought it
it's
was
just
good.
funny. Like I couldn't really take him seriously in Rogue One because of it, but
That's funny.
No, I
Yeah.
thought he was a good villain. in
It's
Rogue
funny.
One.
Like I really didn't even catch that. Now I gotta watch it for that.
Yeah.
But anyway, he wants to be Doctor Doom. Like he knows that there's like nothing really kind of happening right now. But like
Okay.
he was asked, one of those questions like, "Oh, who would you want to be? Like, what would you want to do?" And I think he'd be a great look.
So do I.
I think he would be a good choice for Doctor
Yeah,
Doom.
absolutely.
I mean,
Dom's
and if
putting
he
this thing
does
into
have
my-
the lisp, it doesn't really affect the character.
yeah, and, I mean, look,
It helps
he-
the character, if anything.
Look,
It's true. He's beyond a mask.
look, I don't even know how it. I don't. Even,
Welcome to Latveria.
I don't think it's that exaggerated. I
No,
don't think
it's
like
not like
I don't
that.
think
Behold the splendor of my evil.
it's not that exaggerated. I'm just ultra.
Seashell, seashell by the seashore. Not in Latveria unless you pay your taxes.
All right.
But I'm sorry, I was talking all over you. Go ahead.
No. I mean, it's obviously not that exaggerated. It's pretty subtle, but like, I just can't see him in this role, man. I really can't.
Well, luckily,
He just doesn't have the build to me. Like, I feel like Dr. Doom's got to be
And close your eyes.
like really tall.
not like
He's got
really
some height.
not like
Not-
tall,
he's
but
not
like
under
he's,
tall.
he's got to be like. I feel like he's
Hey,
got to
look.
have some girth.
Hey, look, I just got proven wrong. I thought Jake Gyllenhaal was like a hobbit, and I just got according to the internet or Clint anyway.
Yeah,
One of the other.
via the internet.
The Clintonet.
Yes, the Clintonet.
Okay.
You can use that on your show, Clint. Feel free. He's literally 6 or 6 apostrophe. So yeah.
Yeah, I just think like, I think you got to go with somebody like that's a little bit more intimidating.
Well, here's what he had to say. He goes, he was speaking with Josh Horowitz on some other podcast, and Mendelsohn opened up about his eternal love of actually the Fantastic Four villain. He's the greatest comic character of all time. The thing that's really appealing about Victor is the damage and the trauma, the loss of the family, the wrong done to him, and then the revenge and the takeover. But then it's this protectiveness of Latveria wrapped in the Cold War vibe. What actually makes him great is his caring bit. And that's what's great about Dr. Doom, and I just like him. But so on the subject of all this now, Noah Hawley, who is the creative behind FX's Legion and
Great show, by the way.
the one that, yes, it is, the one that me and Dom also love.
I can't think of it either.
The one at Fargo.
Fargo, yeah.
He's working on
Noah Hawley.
the script for a Doctor Doom movie for Fox, and so he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm aware of this." So I guess that's him putting his little nuggets out
Wow,
there
yeah.
that he's digging down, and
Hey, I mean, like
the internet at large seems to want Mads Mikkelsen, thinking that he'd be a
fuck
great.
yes,
And I kind of agree.
absolutely.
I kind of agree. And you know what? As far as little people
Holy
goes,
shit.
I wouldn't mind. What's his name from Inglourious Bastards? Fucking
Pitt?
Fassbender?
no.
Give me
no.
Brad Pitt.
No, I want.
Give me fucking
I
Pitt.
Want,
Oh, Christoph.
yeah, Christoph.
Oh, Christoph? Yeah, he could pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a little Doom.
Give me Brad Pitt now. I
Well,
want Pitt.
Now you want Pitt?
I want Pitt.
Yeah. I can't do Brad Pitt. I can't do Brad Pitt. I need to hear somebody do Brad Pitt that I can do some Brad Pitt.
Now, I mean, I don't want to doubt Mendelsohn. Like
Right,
I really
right.
can't. Like, you can't call it anymore with these things. Like,
You don't, because
Like-
you think something's gonna be great, it turns out to be shit. You think
Exactly.
something's shit, it turns out to be great.
Right.
So it's like what we had with the other story.
Like everybody was so hypercritical of Heath Ledger with the Joker, and like I use that as my reference point all the time with these like casting things.
Well, here's his last one, which is another one. Jude Law is now part of the Marvel Universe. Jude Law has been cast in Captain Marvel with Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. He'll be playing Captain Mar-vel, which is the original Captain Marvel that in Marvel Comics is known as being like the one character that they killed off that they try really hard not to bring back, but they kind of fuck with it. but who died of cancer, actually, like, you know, and because that's the whole thing was like, you know, that was the poignantness of his death was that he didn't get killed off by like a villain or a monster or some kind of other thing. Cancer actually got him. Something real.
That was during a time when everyone was worrying about cancer.
Yeah, cancer was a big thing at that point in the 80s. It was like it was like the AIDS of the 80s. It kind of was. I wasn't thinking at the time. So with that, you know, hey, Jude Law. All right. So
Whatever.
All right, so we're going to see the progenitor Captain Marvel and pass the baton to the new Captain Marvel in
basically.
this movie.
And we do know that this movie will take place in the 90s.
I forgot about that. That's interesting.
And that it will have the Skrulls.
Yeah, bitch.
And
How,
my theory, did I ever tell you my theory on that?
You probably have, but I forgot.
It's going to be that we do it in the 90s. This way, she'll be off the radar, which is why she hasn't been around. She comes back present day, second half of Infinity Wars. But her movie lays the groundwork for Skrulls being in the whole fucking Marvel universe at all.
Oh, like, yeah.
Secret Invasion storyline.
Right.
And I think that's going to be Marvel's big next phase after all the Infinity stuff. It's going to be like, who do you trust? Who do you trust, baby? Who do you trust?
Hubba, hubba, hubba. Money, money, money.
Who do you trust?
Now, let's talk about that for a second because, like,
Nerd alert!
Who in the Marvel universe, like, is, like, really interchangeable like that? Like, what would really be sick if it was, like, Tony Stark? Like, if Robert Downey was a Skrull. Like,
Right.
You know, that would be
Right.
sick, but, like, how do you do that?
Well, that's the thing.
You know what
like,
I mean?
See, in the comics, Marvel had set up, Brian Michael Bendis, the writer, had set up that,
Recent shit.
that Spider-Woman, this return of Jessica, whatever, Spider-Woman, that she would be revealed after all this time of coming back into prominence, after years of our time, of her just being on the team and going through the paces, like when the Secret Invasion finally dropped,
Right.
it would turn out to be, oh, she's been a Skrull this whole time.
This is recent, right?
Yeah. In the last several years.
Yeah.
So ideally, if this is what they're kind of working towards, they can kind of have something in the back of their pocket already. Like if it's going to be a thing where we're playing fast and loose with a little bit of time, like, you know, I'm sure if you want to sit there and kind of like super geek about it and make a list of who could potentially be a Skrull, it probably wouldn't be that hard to come up with a decent amount of characters who are like, because it's a movie thing. Like the movie universe isn't like filled with a lot of concrete details. It's a lot of broad strokes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I think the only people who probably you could rule out are people who have been injured. Like if you can figure out who hasn't really been injured enough to have to go to a doctor, they have the potential of being a Skrull this whole time.
Right.
Because that's how they did it with that. It was just the whole time Jessica, Spider-Woman, she was being tied up and held somewhere. So they got her back in the end, like after the whole Secret Invasion.
Do you think they're
thing.
going to establish her?
But
in
it did
this?
turn into like all these other secondary characters on some other teams and like all over around the Marvel universe. People have been Skrulls for this whole time, and it was part of this, Secret Invasion. Right. What was your question, young man?
No, I was going to say, do you think they'll bring her into the fold here in the Marvel universe?
It's a question. They got Spider-Man now, but
Yeah.
I mean, do you bring her in as Spider-Woman outright or just the Jessica whatever? But like you know how it goes. Two characters named Jessica. Oh my God, is it Jessica Drew or is it Jessica Jones? I'm so confused because that's what they say about movie-going audiences. Like you can't have two blondes in a movie because people will just confuse them.
Yeah, but Jessica Jones is on the Netflix shit.
I know. Hey, look, And
I think
she's
everybody forgot about
and
her by
she's-
now. That was like 3 years ago.
some chick with a scarf, right, or something, or boots. All right, so that's going to wrap up that particular section. But Jay has a little bit of some. I'm going to throw this to him. Really, it's like some Star Wars report, basically.
Well, basically, Lucasfilm jerked off all over us the last 2 weeks.
Jesus
Shit,
Christ!
Man. I mean, they put out 10. They put out 10 TV spots.
Right.
And I'll get to that in a second. Mark Hamill teased that there might be a big reveal, but not without saying it.
Okay.
Right.
All
I
he
saw
said
that
to
on
people
Twitter.
was just like, when you see it, just keep it to yourself.
Right.
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
I did
Fucking
see
right.
that.
You know what I mean?
I did see that.
Try and keep the secret as long as you can.
Now,
Yeah. Be
So-
cool, like
Yeah.
Battlefront 2 dropped on PS4 last week.
A whole lot of hullabaloo of its
And
own, but this is a different thing.
This is something different, and within the video game, I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
But there's two characters in there, male and a female, and they're Empire defectors, and they fall in love, have a daughter, and they don't know if this might be a backstory to Rey. But they're not saying it.
Sure.
They're not saying nothing.
But I bet you it can go either way, though.
Right. Like they say, what happens to the mother and the daughter is not known. You just keep following the male character as he defects from the Empire and does other things. So that raised a lot of fucking eyebrows amidst all the stupid controversy that's going on about the game itself.
It could also just be red herring as fuck, though.
Yeah.
Too. You know, they could be making it into a whole while like, oh, you know what? Let's not even show because people will think, you know, start like, you know, this conversation that we're having now.
Yeah, maybe.
You know,
maybe
if they're that smart.
And then Ryan Johnson basically confirmed that Lando won't be in this. As much speculation saying that he might have something to do.
Oh, Lando in the next one. That's
in Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like everything I'm referencing is
no Lando.
We have Chewie smacking a Porg off the Falcon.
Saw that. There's a GIF going around. A GIF going around.
Sure.
Hold up. Let's back up a second. Lando is in Last Jedi?
Lando's not in Last Jedi.
He's confirming that he's not.
All right.
A lot of people were thinking he might show up, but they're saying
there's love for Billy D. Williams. You know what I mean?
He'd be old as fuck.
Colt 45.
He'd be old as fuck.
Yeah. Slow Lando.
And the moral of all this is that we have all this information and we still don't know what the fuck is going on. In
Still don't know what this movie's about.
Which is good marketing.
It's great. It's fucking
Which
amazing.
brings me back to the 10 spots. Each spot uses 90% of the same footage, and each one gives you a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, but they still don't give it to you. Which is phenomenal marketing.
Well, I saw a few different ones, and I did notice the same thing where it's like, oh, okay, they use the same exact footage, but in one, like this one scene will have a little bit more on it, but the other scene like doesn't. And then in this other one, that second scene does have a little bit more on it, but that first scene doesn't. So, like, you know what I mean? So it's just like they're playing with like this, with mere millimeters of edit. Like, you know what I mean?
And with each little spot, you're saying at the end of it, "Holy shit, this is gonna be fucking! Oh, this is fucking great!
Now,
Holy fuck!"
I haven't seen a fucking
I feel like that's the
trailer
look on
once.
Luke. I feel like that's the look on.
Oh,
Luke's
you haven't
face.
seen nothing. You're keeping yourself. I don't think you'll be spoiled about anything though.
That's the thing.
I don't give a fuck.
You're staying hard
you're
and
done
true.
with trailers.
Staying
I don't
hard
blame
and
you,
true with the non-trailer.
I was kind of looking forward to seeing one when I saw the Justice League movie, but they didn't have any spots during that. I was kind of surprised by that. So, I mean, I've seen like the initial teaser that they put out when they first dropped the news and everything. But since then I haven't seen any like the big trailers or anything, and I've heard that they're fucking fantastic. You know, but I wouldn't put it past them that they're not really that they're not really giving out any information. That's what they should do, because apparently, like you said, this one's got a big twist in it, according to Mark Hamill and fucking Ryan Reeves.
You know what
or
it is,
whatever his
too?
name- Not Reeves.
With a
What's his
lot of
name?
movies,
Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson.
Ryan
Yeah.
Johnson.
you know what it is with a lot of movies, they don't have the faith in the movie. Like, this is a movie that sells itself.
Yeah.
You can get away with not showing a lot. You know, with something else, whether it's like, oh my God, we have to soak everybody in advertising and marketing in order to get our money back.
Well,
with
the
this.
difference between this movie and any other movie is people are drooling in anticipation over every frame you give them, and it doesn't matter what is in that frame. You can have you could take footage of a camera guy, raw footage of a camera guy with his camera facing down into the snow for 30 seconds. Fans will drool over that.
Right. It's all what you don't see, my friend. It's all what you don't see.
You know what? It could have just been like 30 seconds of, like, you know how they do the show in the trailer, like Luke turning on the lights inside of the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah.
Like, just that. Like 30 seconds of him just standing there after he turns the lights on.
And it'd be brilliant.
And just looking around a little bit.
Just keep flicking the switch on and off.
Playing with it like,
be an asshole.
Click.
yeah.
Click.
Or it's just the cockpit with the lights on, and like
Oh wait,
some of
that
them are
time
blinking,
that one didn't go on.
some of them are not.
So I guess what I'm saying is that now it's really starting to heat up. It's starting, the pot is boiling. It's the last 3 weeks of anticipation.
Can you feel the heat under the
So I'm ready.
on the street?
I think everybody at this table's ready for that.
Fuck yeah.
Did I lose the link?
Got my tickets already, bitch.
So, me too.
Delicious.
That Thursday night.
Delicious. Did I lose the link to this fucking next one?
Yeah, it looks like you did, Chief.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't the one.
We got a little bit more.
I put the link in. I don't know how the link came out, but I will. I will pull it back up.
So this
Lincoln's dead.
a continuation of a news story we started last week,
Bit of a follow up.
right?
So, yeah, the whole world was talking about Quentin Tarantino and this 60s Manson movie thing. Oh, yeah.
Well, what happened with the Manson movie? Nothing good, I hope.
They gave us a little bit more information as to how the story is going to be told, the narrative of it. And it deals mostly about a guy that worked in the movies or something like that.
Yeah.
And he knows Sharon Tate and the Manson family murders are going to be a backdrop of the main narrative of the movie. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's going to be about other people, but it meshes into the
Right. We were all
Manson stuff.
We were all wondering like how deep it was going to get into like true history. You know what I mean? Set in Los Angeles in the summer of 1969, Tarantino's upcoming movie, according to a source who read the script, focuses on a male TV actor who's had one hit series and is looking for a way to get into the film business. His sidekick, who's also his stunt double, is looking for the same thing. The horrific murder of Sharon Tate and 4 of her friends by Charles Manson's cult of followers serves as a backdrop for the main story.
Right.
So chances are,
well, since they're
you're not getting Tom Cruise as Manson.
Well, what I'm saying is that if you're going to go to the lengths of actually getting a star like Margot Robbie to play Sharon Tate, she's going to have some involvement to the script.
If that's who she's playing.
That's what they're eyeing.
That's what everyone's thinking.
For. Yeah.
But and if not, who knows to how much she's maybe it's more cameo than anything. Then
maybe any big star would kill the cameo for Tarantino. That's just
please, I'll just. Do you need a lamp? I'll be a lamp. I'll be a coat rack. I'll do anything. I'll be the valet.
The guy picking up the papers in the park with a poker.
Yeah, you don't even need to have my head in the frame. Like you can just cut me off at like mid chest. I don't care. So that's really gonna wrap it up. Just want to clarify. Just felt like it was a little bit of a follow up.
A lot of news.
A lot of news, kids. A lot of news. A lot of news.
There's news.
A lot of news. A lot of news. A lot of news.
A lot of news.
A lot of news.
Meanwhile,
not too much on the home front. Me and Bob watched Punisher. We finished Punisher.
Yes, we did. 13 episodes.
13 episodes. Not to get too deep into it or spoilerific. Check it out. It's good. It's worth it.
It's not a blood fest.
It's not the super crazy blood fest that you might be thinking. There's action.
Yeah.
It's just not super constant action. But it's not to say that,
basically
the story's not good. But
yeah, this is basically a 13-episode retelling of his origin.
Yeah, because what's interesting is that, like, again, not to get too deep into it, but they do kind of rework some of the stuff that you saw in Daredevil Season 2 and give you another angle on it and kind of, like, find out who else was involved in his backstory stuff of, family getting murdered and all that shit. But, really pretty good. You do wait around for, like, the big stuff at the end.
Yeah.
One of the things we were saying was that, like, some of these Marvel shows, they feel like they were taking a dip in the middle.
Right.
Before they would get to their last 2 or 3. And this feels pretty consistent and level across the board.
Right.
But that's because they start out at a certain point where, like, you're not getting tons of craziness off the top. So all of a sudden, like, now it takes a dip in the middle. It's kind of like,
There's no real peaks and valleys to begin with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
And even when you're watching the action, when there is action, you don't really get overly into it.
There's not a lot of
there's a little bit of a disjointedness in what you're watching, just because of the pace of it all. And you're kind of, because the character, you're kind of expecting more.
Yeah.
But that complaint aside, this is a solid show.
Yeah, and it's as good as you could possibly hope for a character like this too, because I could see it getting to a point where, like, if they did give you something that was a little bit more crazy or a little more over top, it could burn itself out pretty fast.
How about do you do Punisher on a basically you got to think of it like this.
Yeah.
How do you do the Punisher on a weekly show?
Right.
What would you do? You would have to do like the old Equalizer show, but with tons of bloodletting and bullets.
Right.
Something like that. But then that gets repetitive really, really fast.
Sure.
Because the Punisher is who he is. He's really a one-trick pony in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get a season out of him? A good season? You have to stretch his background story.
Right. Stretch his background and the and the storyline that comes with the other characters that are around him, like getting to know them a little bit.
At this point, if they decided they don't want to do any more Punisher, I would be perfectly fine with that because what we have is a good representation of the character. And if they don't think that there's a way to do another 13 episodes without just coming off as totally repetitive and boring,
Right.
then they need to walk away just like that and let him be a peripheral character in Daredevil and the other shows that are on Netflix. Someone who comes in and out.
Because not to kind of like give it away too much, but it does end in a place where things are set up in that way. Like it might have been an edict from the network to be like, we don't know if a season 2 is going to happen. We didn't know this was going to happen. We'll make a deal for one season in and out. So when you watch the ending of how things lie in the ending, it's like, okay.
You can see it picking up somewhere else.
He's not in a very literal sense in any way, but he's kind of metaphorically, riding off into the sunset. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, like it can go any direction right now.
Yeah,
which is a good way to kind of leave it in a way.
Yeah, at the end I was telling Bill, I was like, cue the Lonely Man music.
Yeah, from the
and from the Hulk, and we're out. That's just how it felt.
Yeah, so it's good though.
Is it? So it's set in the past, right?
No, it's set present, but
it is.
But his
you
past,
get a lot of flashbacks.
Get a good amount of flashbacks.
I figured that.
Yeah, and his past has been, his original story has been altered to be more current, and it's been adapted so that it's not the mafia, it's the military.
Do they touch on Jigsaw?
We believe that there's something that happens in the end that hints at that.
It seems that way.
Wasn't the military always the case though?
He served.
It was mafia back in the day.
I
didn't know that.
When he first arrived, what they did keep was that. See, because what's crazy is that back in the days, it was like comic books. So it was like, his family gets killed by in a mob hit turned wrong because the kids flew a kite into the wrong part of Central Park. Yeah. And a daytime mob hit was going on, basically.
Right. The Bruno Costa family.
You know what I mean? Right. These things happen.
Right.
But good times back then. But
oops.
Fucking Ed Koch.
Right.
But point being that, so they've kind of retrofit that. So, there were bigger hands at play in the stuff that we saw in Daredevil Season 2. So coming into this, it's about expanding into that. His Clancy Brown, the guy who's his commanding officer.
Oh, he's back a little bit?
Well, he's a little bit in this.
Good, cool. He's good.
For the flashback stuff.
When will he go away?
And the girl from Daredevil
He's
too, right?
never left. He's still
He keeps popping up and stuff. It's like, just do voice work. You're great because you got a crazy voice, but you just look weird as fuck sometimes on screen, old man.
I can't stand him.
You got a nose like a Muppet, but hey, loved you on Lost.
The girl from Daredevil,
right,
is involved. Is in the too.
Karen Page.
Karen Page.
She's in that a lot.
Karen Page is in that. She's pretty much like the only real crossover thing you get to any of the other
Daredevil.
stuff. Actually, Turk shows up also.
Spoiler.
Oh.
Spoiler. But you see him early in the season.
Who's Turk?
Turk is the black dude who was kind of like the street guy who popped up in Daredevil, then he popped up in Iron
cop?
Fist. No. He's just a kind of a street guy who gets things, makes things happen, has to scoop the air to the ground. He's the huggy bear of this whole kind of thing.
I don't remember. Because I remember the cop.
You'll recognize him as soon as you see him.
Yeah.
He was in and out of the Daredevil stuff.
Cool. He would go to him to get all the dirt from all the crime bosses. He would.
Yeah, once he found out what the deal was in town and who he had to go to find information, he had him in his pocket a little bit.
Vaguely remember.
Towards the end, like the last 3 or 4.
He's in the very first scene of the
very first scene, right? Okay, yes.
When he does his first thing at the beginning.
It's at the docks, right? Yeah, exactly.
And at the end, he's like, give me the information.
Right,
he's like, I don't know nothing, man. He's like, bullshit,
Right, okay, yes, I know who he is.
He's like, okay, my name is Turk. Here's my phone number.
Okay.
Call me whenever you need something. I'll get it for you, if you need to know. But, so it's coming a high recommendation. Just, the craziness does come at points, but it's not nonstop crazy.
Right.
Because that's my thing. Like, I came out of Daredevil Season 2 with that whole crazy shit in the prison thinking, this guy is fucking insane. And they dialed back the insanity a little bit, which is probably for the best. Because Bernthal chewing, being that over the top all the time, I don't know. You'd probably
13 episodes that would get tiring.
Yeah, of anybody doing it. You know what I mean? But
it would be an emotional roller coaster just to watch it.
Oof. So moving on from that, me and Bob caught Justice League. We hadn't seen it last week.
Right.
We've all seen it here. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Like
very solid. No real complaints about the movie at all. You really can't complain about it.
Definitely solid. A.
It reminded me of like a JLA graphic novel on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, it really did. You know what's funny is that it's got the same shortcomings as when I read a comic book. Like sometimes it's like, this feels kind of cool, but now coming out the other end, it's like, okay, it was a couple of cool things and it's fun. The artwork is great,
Right.
but the writing feels like something. Did I miss something, or do I have to wait 3 more issues to kind of have payoff for this?
Okay.
You know what I mean? It feels a little bit like that. It feels like issue 1 of like a 5-issue arc of a comic book, that kind of a thing. Which
You
is
fucking
good.
nerd.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what it is? You know what it is? They didn't give you a lot of the background stories in this movie. You don't really need them.
Right.
But they're kind of saving. They're saving Barry Allen's, full
For
story
his movie, sure.
for his movie, and they're saving cyborgs. We know the basics of cyborgs. We don't know the whole story, so we could see more of that. That could be something.
We
that's
actually got
expanded
more
on.
of Cyborg than we did Barry, as far as actually
I was gonna say,
origin goes.
and as far as story importance.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah. He's pivotal. He's pivotal.
Yeah, he's actually pretty pivotal, which was a smart thing to do because he is a character we were all going into this. We were like, yeah, who, what?
Is he gonna get marginalized like a little bit, like
Right?
But,
Is he gonna get nerfed?
But it's because he's a tech guy, And one of the things I think I said coming out of it was like, until he gets his own movie, it'd be nice to see him be the linchpin maybe that pops up in everybody else's movie because he's the tech guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's the go-to if anybody needs that kind
It's
of
got
stuff.
to be him and Barry.
You know what I mean? They'll have them be the kind of like the things that tie in a little bit on the edges.
They're always never really, those two. You know what's going to happen with their personalities. They're not going to really always get along.
Right.
But then they're going to have this secret like for each other because of the commonalities and common interests that they actually have with
the
technology.
science and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and Flash is always at the center of all the crossovers in the DC Comics, anyways.
Yeah,
when it comes
because-
to like tying everything together, because he's the timeline guy.
Yeah, time.
So
He's usually the one who's fucking it up.
right, exactly. So
It was really cool to see an actual live action cyborg, though, man.
Yeah, I mean, and what's funny is like at first, like I was like, oh, like even when I started watching it, I was like, oh, okay, I can. This is gonna be a little bit of a one-trick pony. It's the Frankenstein-y thing, but he fucking grew on me, man.
Yeah.
You know what? For a guy who doesn't have like a lot of lines and doesn't have isn't given a lot of range as a character. Like he worked. Like at first, I thought his voice was a little awkward. I was like, "Are they doing something?" And it's like, no, that's just kind of how like this guy talks.
Yeah.
This guy's voice. I'm not familiar with the actor, so it was like, all right, cool. And it was growing on me so much where like I wanted more of him, really.
But they
As
gave him
opposed
a
to
lot to
anybody-
do too.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
did. He's
Yeah,
at
they
the
actually,
forefront.
Yeah, he's key to the story.
Yeah.
You know?
Not only is he tied to the MacGuffins, but he helps in the end in a major way.
Right.
And that's the other thing that's great about this, as opposed to the one thing this has over like Avengers easily is like it's more than just Cap going, you go over there and you go over there and you do this and Hulk smash, and then we run and we go do that stuff. And then it's like, yeah, maybe some teamworky stuff happens, but this has a lot more of the in the moment calling out to the other guy and like you feel the teamwork a little bit more here.
Yes.
Like, what I mean? You see it in Avengers, but it goes it can go by. It can go over your head. It's somebody jumping off of somebody else's back so they can springboard jump and kick somebody in the face.
It's something that's happening in the background. They're working like a team that's been working together a long time.
Right.
Whereas in this one, they're working like a team that knows it's a team, but still has to call out.
Right. Yes. Yeah, because it's new. Because it's new for them.
It's
so
still,
it's like
it's still new.
It's like Flash, you should be doing this particular task.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
The other guys, it's second nature. They still have to work on it.
Right. So
which is a good approach because it kept things different.
Right. And it worked. It didn't it didn't feel like
and they kept the heavy hitters busy doing the heavy hitting.
Right.
While the techier guys and the less powerful ones, they did their thing.
Yeah, they did this. They did the cleanup in a sense.
They got the people to safety,
Right.
and they did the techie stuff, which was a well-rounded effort.
It was a great way to kind of address that stuff too, which is like worry about all these fucking civilians.
Right, where Marvel just writes it into the damage into the next movie.
Right. No, it's just collateral damage.
No, I'll say it again. I mean, I sat there and I just really enjoyed myself with it. You know what I mean? It was a really fun comic book film.
It was there was a very solid across the board. Nothing super fabulous, nothing super bad. But it was above average across the board.
Yeah, and and it just kind of paves the way.
Really, no complaints.
And I said it earlier. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Like the only thing that really sticks out for me is there's a couple of random times that Gal Gadot just stops and smiles at me. I mean, the viewer.
Right.
And it's a little distracting.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's a little distracting.
You're talking about during the upskirt shots. Right?
Well, that too, but there are more which I was like, oof, someone's gonna be annoyed by that. When I saw that.
You notice they put those in for the Asian market.
I mean, truthfully,
we're America. We're not the Asian market.
When I walked out of there,
well,
when I walked out of there, and I know the whole Ben Affleck is he or isn't he kind of thing.
Yeah.
I really hope he just sticks at least for one more.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, but
sure, he should stick around for one more. I'm
'cause
sure
he carries it.
I'm sure if he sticks around for one more, it'll be the totally positive experience at this point. Because assuming things continue the way they're going, I'm sure the movie will not only be critically well received, but financially well received as well, and be the payoff that he was looking for when he signed the contract.
I was hoping that word of mouth would have helped this movie a little bit more, but it seems like it's coming in as a loss at this point.
Yeah, it got fucked.
Yeah,
and not even just by projections, but now like looking at a budget, like it's probably going to come up like $100 million shy. But I think long term it's going to make it.
Yeah, they the worst thing that they can do is freak out and like suspend the fucking universe because they lost out on this movie.
Right? No, this
they
was
don't
important.
like they have to understand that their other movies were shit.
Yeah.
This is the best movie.
Right.
That and Wonder Woman are the two best movies. Those are your two most recent movies.
Right.
They're the best.
This
so
is your
move
0
on from
point.
there.
Right.
Don't fucking get worried and fucking redo the whole thing.
This
again.
is a new starting point, a new building point,
Right.
not a failure point.
Right. This is BC and AD.
Right.
Like,
They're going to
you know what I mean?
make money. It's just going to take longer to do it. They were looking for the quick 6-month payout of all that cash. And now they're basically they're going to have to pay off all the loans or most of it and then collect the rest over time.
There you go.
From DVD sales and all that.
There you go. Now,
couple $2-3.
Yeah,
it'll go $9.
It'll go over $1 billion by the time it's done with DVD sales.
What'd you say? A couple of late night dollars?
No, I said $8-9.
Oh, $8-9. I thought you said a couple of late night dollars.
A few $4-5, huh?
A few $6-7.
Palmer's suspecting that maybe this weekend we'll have a huge bump because of the holiday week.
It's possible.
It's possible.
It's a good assessment.
It's a good assessment.
Point.
Word of mouth might help it out.
Who the fuck asked you?
Well, he's in the chat room, so we're being nice to people in the chat room.
Deep Space Palmer over there.
Take it easy, champ.
Wow.
Take it easy. Take it easy. I know he fucking, killed your wife and your baby, but I mean, let it go already. Fucking
It's
punishment.
the last time I ever go to PA again.
Fucking punishment due over here. All right, so speaking of Uncle Jay, you watched more super stuff.
I did. I did.
I feel like the show is running 3 hours now, but you watched a 3 hour.
No, I'm gonna save it.
Superman.
I'll save it. I'll save it till
No, but hit a little bit of it because I just set it up. But I mean, if you need 3 hours for it,
no. Warner Brothers has something called the Warner Archive, and it's basically movies in their library where you order them, they make it for you on Blu-ray and stuff like that. What they did was they actually put out a Superman, the 3-hour cut of Superman. This is the version of Superman that aired on Channel 7 back in the day, right after Superman 2 was released.
Okay.
And it was released as a two-night event.
Okay.
Like a two-part, miniseries kind of thing.
So, but basically, it's a 3 hour cut.
It's a 3 hours and 8-minute cut
of Superman 1 and 2.
the movie.
Right. Which was split into 2 movies. So now it's kind of like packaged back together.
Well, here's what it is. Everybody remembers that the original was 2+ hours.
Okay.
Okay, and then Donner did a director's cut of it 15 years ago. It became 2.5. Well, in 1981, they had so much footage that the producer said, "Let's put together a 3-hour cut and show it over 2 nights as a television event," and it was never seen again.
Oh, okay.
It only survived as bootlegs from people who taped it off the
TV.
And but a lot of it is cool, but a lot of it are scenes that just kind of run on. You know what I mean? It just run on a little too long.
Okay.
But it was fun to watch.
Okay.
And then I backed that up with Donner's cut of Superman 2, which is a different cut than the Superman 2 we grew up with.
So is this a stash?
They're both stashes. They're it's good times. You know what I mean? It gives you a whole new outlook of Superman. But I agree with Dom when he told Ed and sided with me that you can't have that Super Eve Superman now in movies. It's that Boy Scoutish kind of thing.
Yeah,
it wouldn't work, really.
Well, I think the thing is you got to make it real. You have to make that real for today, though.
It's a little dated. It's a little dated.
Watch Justice League.
Yeah.
And then that's the perfect hybrid of the character that you want.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, you can have those same morals and stuff there. Having him kind of feel that kind of good old boy, kind of old school charm is a thing of that era. So if you want him to be the crispy clean good guy, that's got to feel very different than the 80s crispy clean good guy.
Right, which is why I said it needs to come from somewhere dark. You go through some kind of journey first, and then all of a sudden...
Like, I don't think you necessarily have to do it like that. Like, I think you can do it without that, too.
Right.
But I do agree that, like, the aesthetic, the actual, almost gosh golly thing that is of that era and of that Superman is not going to really hold up.
Right.
Like, it's got to feel more grounded and real. Now, whether or not you give him more angst and catharsis to kind of work through as a psychological thing, or like he just happens to be a character that's just written really well.
Right.
That's a different thing.
Right. The morals, yes, but the way it was done.
Yeah.
Because these two movies they're aged.
Oh, I bet.
They're of its time.
Oh, I bet.
But still good storytelling and definitely a good depiction of Superman, I have to say.
One of the best.
All right. So,
can I make
what's next?
An admission?
This is a place to do that.
I've never seen the Christopher Reeve Superman movies.
You're a millennial. Yeah, you're a millennial, so you can be forgiven, but you should try and find it and check it out.
I never seen.
Am I gonna have to take my headphones off?
I never seen them.
I guess so.
I was absent.
All right,
yeah, we really were absent at that time. You weren't even here.
My parents were fucking in the fucking crib at that age, at that point in time.
You were in between.
You're swimming in a ball sack.
You know what it is? You were in this odd generation where you were in between
Are those 60s?
formats. You were in between this VHS and the oncoming of the DVD format, and this got lost in the wayside for you.
The DVDs
were those 60s? Those Chris Reeve movies?
No, they're like early 80s.
78.
Oh,
78.
Yeah, 78.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, so my parents were like older at that point. I mean, not older, but like they were like 16, 17.
Your father was drunk when he saw it, yeah.
Probably, yeah. My parents were about 16 at that point, probably.
Yeah, something like that.
So
ballpark.
Yeah.
I was just a newly hatched
Your dad
fetus
probably
myself.
was making out with your mom at that movie.
he's probably making out with some other random bitch. I don't even know. They
Who
probably didn't
knows?
even
Who
know
knows at that point, right? Do the math on that.
Yeah. 78. I don't think they met till like 86 or 87.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have been conceived during the Godfather screening. Maybe.
All right, boys. Looking at the clock. And the question's going to come down to this. We can do pitch versus pitch, or we can do lightning round.
No, we put it off pitch versus pitch.
We've put it off, right?
Yeah.
Well, we've put off lightning round, too.
We should do pitch versus pitch because I have to head out to work soon.
Okay.
And
all right.
I've worked hard on this pitch versus pitch.
Okay, and it's timely.
I think we should do it.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
And we can set up the next one.
Yeah.
So, all right, so let's do it. Let's say we do a little bit of pitch versus pitch.
Are you people insane? I'm the director. I make the casting decisions around here.
Well, I thought this was a group effort.
No!
Yeah, we will get to the chat game. Okay. As he's writing it, as he's asking me about it, like in the chat, are we skipping this? Not intentionally, but here we are now, skipping it. We will get back to it right before emails. Okay, so here we go. It's pitch versus pitch. I had put out the title last time around, and it was the title of the movie is About Damn Time. Any volunteers to go first, or I'll pick somebody?
If no one's gonna volunteer, I guess.
Let Dom do it. I know he's itching.
I mean, I'm not really itching, but if no one, no one wants to go.
Mine's done. I'm good.
Let's start
It's
Bob.
not the most detailed.
Kick it off. Kick it off, Bob.
I
still gotta find mine in my phone.
Fair, if that's a good reason.
All right, see, that's why I just keep it upstairs.
All right, got it.
Oh boy.
All right, so mine's basically a cross between Goonies and Time Bandits.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
I like it.
All right? You got a little kid, about 10, 11 years old, let's say.
Okay.
He's been punished, so he's not allowed to go to the water park with the rest of the family.
Okay.
So we see them in the car, and he's all upset because he's got to go hang out with Grandpa at the old folks' home.
Sure. That's a blast.
All right? So now he's at the old folks' home with Grandpa, and Grandpa tells him he needs his medicine. And go to the store, get my medicine. You just got to pick it up. It'll be there waiting for you in the bag. It's already paid for. But I need you to go get my medicine right away. So, okay, so he's all upset. He goes out the door. He's heading down the block. Suddenly, time portal opens up, and a bunch of little kids pull him through.
Okay.
Now, as part of the story, he finds out what's going on. Is they got to save time, blah, 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 whatever, you know. And then, so at the end of the story, okay.
All right, you got some pieces. I got you.
I'm skipping the middle here, but you know, it's a basic time story. Save the time story.
We have some fun in this time period, and that time period.
Right, a little bit of Goonies, a little bit of Time Bandits.
Sure.
You know, stir it up in the middle.
I like it.
Right, and then. So now, the whole time that he's doing this, he's letting him know. But look, I got to get my grandpa's medicine.
Absolutely,
right?
He's got the pills
as everything's
the whole time.
going on, and you know, I gotta go. I gotta get my grandpa's medicine. All right. So anyway, so now we cut back into the parking lot. They land. Of the drugstore.
Okay. Where they found him.
Where they found him. They find that he goes inside to go get it. Now he looks at the clock. Time hasn't really passed. It's only been like
a couple minutes or
something.
something.
So. He's like, yeah, okay, cool.
Right.
Everything's going to be good. So he goes to get the medicine. Well, the medicine is a bottle of liquor that was left at the store for him, waiting for him, right? So now he's all upset, and he goes back and goes to give it to Grandpa. What does Grandpa say to him? It's about damn time.
That's great. That's fucking. That's great.
Man,
I forgot he had to bring the title in. I was like, oh yeah, there you go.
That's fucking
nice,
great.
nice. I like. Right. You know what I saw in my head actually was at some point like the pill bottle falls out of the kid's pocket.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no.
Yeah,
and he's gotta it's on the ground. And he's
it's
a bottle of liquor.
I cut it a little short, but
that's right.
He's on his way. He's like supposed to be in the parking lot of the drugstore when they grab him.
So he doesn't have it yet.
No, he doesn't have it yet. And then he goes back, and by the time he gets
Before
back,
I saw the end,
the time hasn't really passed for him. So he's like, great. He goes inside, he gets the stuff, and that's when he finds out it's liquor. It's not really medicine.
It's not really medicine.
It's liquor. And when he gets out, about damn time.
About damn time.
So what are we gonna do now?
So
we'll just go clockwise. I'll go.
Yeah, fuck it.
All right. So
what we got here, Tom?
This is About Damn Time.
About Damn Time.
And this is set in a Pixar universe that where they're doing rated R Pixar movies.
Okay.
And this is a short film.
All right.
Silent short film that will air before a Quentin Tarantino Pixar film that's rated R.
I got you.
So this film is directed by John Lasseter and Quentin Tarantino, written and directed by the two.
Okay.
So it's got like a gritty Old Man Logan type vibe to me in my head when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
So like it follows this older man, and he's got these 4 pet coyotes, right?
Right.
And he lives in a cabin in the woods out in Utah.
Okay.
All right.
Utah.
Right. So it's set like it's kind of a post-apocalyptic future, but we don't really know for sure because he's in the woods and shit. So like we don't really get an exact vibe of it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But it's a silent film until the very, very end. So the story is told through the eyes of this old man that through flashbacks of his life. So he's served in a war. We know that he's a veteran. Sometime we get a little thing on the screen. It's the early 2020s in a flashback, and it's an alien war in the U.S. Okay. So the flashbacks are shown when the old man goes and sits on his rocking chair that's out on his front porch in Utah after he finishes his day. And he rolls up a nice big blunt, and he sits there and he smokes the blunt while he's having these flashbacks, these lucid dreams of of this alien war that he fought in, right? But the old man, he wasn't a hero. He wasn't a fighter. He just survived by hiding out in his cellar in the woods, in his cabin, right?
Right.
So we get the flashbacks as he's like staring out into the mountains. So like just try and picture like an old man, Clint Eastwood type, sitting on the chair, right? So it's something that at this point, at his age, he's a rare breed left on Earth. Not many humans left, and his lack of participation in the war just tortures him day in and day out, and that's why we get the flashbacks, you know.
Okay, right. He's thinking about it all the time.
Right. So then we get to the final, most intense flashback scene. It's the final battle in the alien war, and the aliens they're just finishing the job, you know. They're just wiping mankind out. And after the battle rather, before the aliens decide to leave Earth, they motion through like some kind of language on screen Remember that this is a silent short film.
Right.
That they'll be back. That they'll come back one day for the rest of the humans. So just as this depressing scene that's filled with death and blood, it's just blood all over the place. Just depressing, rated R, Pixar shit. Just picture it.
Yeah.
The music cues. The old man sits back.
What I'm picturing like the Star Wars animated kind of fight scenes.
That works.
But like blood, that kind of a thing.
That works.
Some craziness.
The old man, he lights his cigar that's filled up with marijuana.
Wow, this is really the future.
Lights it up. He's got his 4 coyotes sitting right next to him. 4 coyotes. As the music's playing, as he's lighting it up, you get a glimpse of the coyote starting to flinch, and you see some headlights coming down from the heavens, and he just leans up in his chair, takes a puff of his cigar, and he says, "About damn time." That's it.
Does he grab a shotgun at least?
No, that's it. That's all. He's got his 4 coyotes. He's got no weapons.
Okay.
That's
but that's what it is, though, right? Like, he's ready to go. Like, he's got one more shot.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's going to die.
Yeah. But
he
like,
needs to die.
But he's going to go out fighting, though. That's my thing. That's what I'm feeling like. He didn't really get his shot during the war, but now that he's old and here they come again.
And he's regretted his whole life.
Right. At the very least, even if he's going to go down because he's old, he's going to.
Nice.
I got like some shot of redemption. I like that. Like a short film. I can totally see it. Like, 3-minute thing, just kind of like on that one guy and all that. I'm digging that. I like that. I can see that. You know what that reminds me of? Kind of like a.
It's Quentin Tarantino, by the way. Just remember the style.
Oh, there's just a lot more blood now. Okay.
Totally blood.
I'm getting nauseous by how much arterial spray there is from people's necks right now.
Absolutely.
But I do see it like you ever on YouTube catch those like animated like final projects for kids in animation school.
Yeah.
It reminds me of something like that a little bit. Not to say it's like that's like kind of like what I'm picturing in my head. I watch so many of those animated shorts like that, like where it's like, it's like a mix mash of things. All right, Jay, what are you bringing to the
before we get to Jay? I would just like to.
Do you have some?
You were the one that came up with the title, right?
Correct.
So do you have one or no?
No, I actually kind of tried to start one, and then I realized, I don't have to bring one.
Okay, because I was going to say, we have 7 people in the chat, so I was going to see if we can just throw it to them to decide the winner. But since you don't have one, that's kind of unfair to you.
Yeah, I don't.
7 people in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I can see if I had anything in my notes as Jay goes. Jay,
I see Wesley and Clint.
You might be looking at the number of people in there, but it's not a lot of.
No, it's John, Wesley, and Palmer.
That's what I mean.
And you and.
Okay, yeah, my bad. That's including all of us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I apologize.
Right, so,
I didn't. Well, I have something.
Okay.
I definitely have something because I was going back and forth with it. As you know, I'm doing something on the side that I'm not going to talk about too much. But I had a cool thing.
Cock.
Yeah, little cock. Anyway, listen. You said it was about damn time, right?
About damn time.
Immediately, what I thought of was me at the time Phantom Menace came out.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So, not that this reflects anything on me, but it reflects about how people were at the time.
Sure.
And so I made it about a 30-year-old guy who's like the top Star Wars like nerd.
Obsessive.
Think a Trekkie, but
like the biggest.
10 times worse than your biggest Trekkie.
Sure.
He's all fucking Star Wars all the time. So he's about 30 when Phantom Menace comes out.
Right.
And the fact is that he can't get to this fucking. He can't get a showing.
He can't get a ticket.
In the midst
can't get to
of
the
this,
theater.
because it's a weekend where anything happens. His mom needs him to drive him somewhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
Winds up even getting laid for the very first time that weekend.
30-year-old version.
Yeah, he goes into
kind of regrets it because he's trying to get the
What do
money.
I do? What do I do?
And I even said like he's nailing some like chick, and he's looking at the time to try to get to the last showing of
He's
the
doing
night.
this it's because it's going to help him get his ticket.
You know what I mean?
But now, like ironically, he can't finish because he's head somewhere else.
And he's got a guy, that's a friend of his that's in a really bad section in a really bad neighborhood doing a fucking weed buy. And he's got to he needs to be summoned to go pick him up.
Yeah, constantly getting hit with these walls.
And he's the biggest geek ever. He's got like a fucking Darth Vader tie and everything
tattoos
and stuff like
and
that.
obnoxious.
And all this shit happens. Finally, that Sunday night,
Right.
he goes and he watches this movie.
Right.
And then after that, he walks out He goes home, and he like rips all the Star Wars shit, throws all his shit out. You know what I mean? Actually takes off his glasses, combs his hair.
Jay, pitch versus pitch doesn't have to be based on a true story.
No. Come on. You know me.
Fills out a job application, you know. Quits the comic shop.
But it is somebody I kind of see this happening to, a friend of mine.
I can see it happening to just a lot of people in that fandom.
And but yeah, you know, I figure like, you know, he's done. He becomes a changed man.
I like it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After that, so
right.
About Damn Time has a few different meanings on that.
Well, I can see him
really
having to
big
give
weekend.
like this speech kind of part where like he's got to explain to somebody. Like, I know I gotta go. You don't understand. I've been waiting for this forever.
Right.
And it's about damn time we got this movie.
Right.
Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
it's just like that's what immediately like came to mind. Like some guy actually changing from this like the geekiest of nerds to like a man.
At the very end, what ends up happening is that he sees it, and it's not this great thing. It's something that changes him to the point where he's just like, I'm abandoning all of this childish shit.
Done. I'm moving out of the house, like the whole fucking thing.
See, I was going to suggest a post-credit scene where we see him 6 months later with his newest obsession, whatever that ends up being.
Find something that's like of
to
the
replace
time.
it. Like, we see him wearing Star Trek outfits.
Women,
or
nothing. He's like done. You know what I mean? Because this movie changed his outlook on everything. So,
so we see him whoring it up in Vegas.
And people will for years debate whether it was the movie or that he finally got laid that changed him.
No,
forever.
because even when he's getting laid, he's still looking at the clock. You know what I mean? He doesn't even register that he's getting laid. That, you know what I mean? That he has to say, and then he looks back on he reflects on the whole weekend. See, I was actually getting laid, and I was worried about seeing this shit. You know what I mean? So.
I feel like now,
but autobiographical it is not, because I was never like that.
Oh, geez, Louis.
Well, we only have your word on that, Jay.
I lost my shirt. You know what? If we can find Nicole, I hope she's out there. I hope she's listening. Nicole.
That bitch.
Bill, it's all on you, man.
It's all on me. So.
Fuck the
14 I was when I lost that cherry, Chief.
We had Jay's. Jay's was a coming of life story. Not even coming of age. Like just growing the fuck up story. Dom had an animated short that focused on an old man remembering the alien
very
invasion.
art house style thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's artsy as fuck.
It's artsy as fuck.
I love it.
And then
that
Bob's
was the goal.
was
The
Goonies,
my kiddie sci-fi adventure.
Time Bandits, all for Grandpa. You know, doing it all for Grandpa, which feels so very fucking 80s in itself.
Yeah.
Jeez. I think the thing is that it's always got to come down to, I can see all of them.
I think this is a strong week for pitchers.
It kind of is. It kind of is. Oh, jeez, man.
That's right. You make the pick, right?
Yeah. Guy who puts out the title.
And I know we don't actually have 7, but how many people do we have?
We do have 2. We have 2 people who are allowed to vote.
Okay, so maybe
3 elsewhere if they logged in.
Maybe you alone should see what they say.
Yes.
And then help that use that to help you make a decision.
All right, Wesley put something in there.
All right.
John, if you caught those descriptions, put in your 2 cents.
Cue the elevator music while we wait.
Yeah, okay.
While we wait for everybody to make their
Let's see, do I have
their votes.
What kind
did we do last time? Didn't we pick it?
Just play Passion Fruit by Drake.
As if I have that.
Obviously not. That's the point.
No, I don't got that one.
Great elevator music.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I'll give you this. I'll give you the other classic then.
Oh, that's better.
What's that? Bread? Oh no, this is the Quentin Tarantino music.
I think I might have to spit something over this now. Might have to go Eminem on these motherfuckers. This is too like. This sounds like an Eminem freestyle. Like, what is this?
It's
like,
about
The very opening of it.
This is a rap. This is a hip hop track. That's what that is.
That fucking right there. I looped that for a while. Fucking, and I was just like, oh man, I could spit over this.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
It's a classic loop.
Loop that. Send that to me.
All right, so John Zombie John. Let's see. Whoa. split down the middle, kind of. Not really helping. Just saying that they'd go, which one they'd go to see. Wesley's saying I'd go to Jay's movie. John Zombie John saying I'd go see Bob's. Not helping me with the arguments in any way, but shit. Okay, so let me just think here. Okay, Bob's, Dom's, and then Jay's. Yours was
what?
Exactly.
What happened?
Yours was.
Oh, the guy trying to get to see Phantom Menace.
Right, trying to see Phantom Menace. Oof.
Changes his life.
I'm going to go with Bob's. Because I feel like if it's about a full-length movie, maybe that's the thing that puts it over, is that Dom's is just a short. I don't know if that helps it or hurts it.
I broke the rules, I guess.
No, but it's not even that it's rules. I don't know. It's just like... in a way where it's like, oh, if I'm comparing these two, they're the same length, but then yours is a thing where it's like 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
Then how do I hold those two?
Talk to Ed.
You know, you know what I mean? Is it a fair matchup in a way?
You have to understand, he got very, very descriptive.
He did.
Yeah.
He sold me on that,
and he sold me on it too.
As far as the one I can see clearly and has the most.
Who's that, Ed?
No, yours is the one that's actually got the most of its pieces in your breakdown. You know, so fuck that. You know what? I'm going with you, Dom.
Yeah, I was high as fuck when I wrote that.
So fuck that. I'm gonna go with Dom's. You know what?
Fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck me. You came in again. You know what, Bob? You came in again with missing pieces in the middle. I'll just throw you under the bus.
It's supposed to be like, you're like, Bill and Ted, where you're going from place to place.
No,
time to time.
I got it. I got it.
I don't need. I gotta explain all that.
No. You really don't. You really
well,
don't.
There you go. I take it back.
All right, then fine. Then I'm still sticking with Dom. Then.
No. That's what I meant. I take back the win.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. So I don't know what that means. But Dom won. So Dom, it's up to you now to find a title.
Okay.
Come up with a title for the rest of us for next week.
I think it's.
You going with it? You got something?
I'm thinking.
Thinking
like Lincoln.
You said something before. That should be the title.
I know. I'm trying to think about what that was. That's what I'm thinking about.
There's something Jay said, I think.
No. It was something that I said. It was like.
You were impressed with your own.
We'll see you next May or something like
something
that.
about May. So I had to do with May.
Not until May.
Not until May.
Not until May.
All right.
That's not until May. Wait, no.
No, it wasn't that.
It wasn't that.
I'll be there till May. I think it was.
I'll see you in May. I'll meet you in May.
I'll be there.
I'll be there till May.
I'll be there till May.
Is that what it was?
I think that's what it was.
Do you remember the context of why you would say that?
Yeah. Because where I'm moving for the semester. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be there till May.
And Uncle Jay has a little history up there.
Right.
Right.
Little fucking sexual history. You know what I mean? Fucking knocking a little bit of upstate New York back. You know what I mean?
I think I might have caught a couple of STDs up there. But I'm better now. So not until May.
I'll be
there till May.
I'm putting it into the chat room so we don't forget. I'll be there till May. I'll be there until May. That's Matt. That's May. Okay. All right.
Hey, if anybody that's not a part of the show that wants to play along,
yeah,
fucking do. Like, if you're gonna hang out in the chat, like, just fucking send a fucking pitch for his pitch.
Yeah.
The fuck you doing, Wesley? What are you doing?
I'll be there till May.
I mean, if you got an idea right now, write it down in like an email. Start it, save it, finish it later. But whatever, you
got a week. You got a week. So do all of us. Till May. I was corrected. Yes, till. But if you're gonna correct me properly and put the.
I just did it. Here you go.
Okay. There you go. Still missing this.
And I wrote till, T-I-L-L.
Yeah, till, like a cash register.
Yeah.
I got mine.
Bob's done. That's it. Bob's ready to go.
I got my premise.
You got it? You want a piece of paper and a pen?
No, I'm good.
No,
I'm just going to write the true story. I'm going to go see Dom because I haven't seen him in a while.
Oh, my God.
The Adventures of Jay and Dom in Albany, New York.
In Albany, New York.
I'll be there till May. That'll be interesting in and of itself. I'll tell you right now already, that's the one I want to see most.
We got emails.
We do. We got some emails. So
play that fucking bumper, Chief.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God! Fucking bossy around here. Emails.
That's right, bitch.
So many.
Fucking emails.
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 Well, we keep pushing off the chat room game.
Well, you want to rewind and do the chat room game?
We'll do the chat room game at the end. We'll close with that.
Yeah, we'll close.
Go to emails.
You know what? We'll close with the chat room game. Maybe that's the way to keep
Let's
everybody.
rush through emails. Usually we take a long time.
Yeah,
in
fair
emails.
enough. Fair enough. All right, so.
Read like this.
We will push the chat room game to the end, and we'll see how that goes. Maybe that'll become a new way to keep everybody in suspense. All right, so let's see. We got. Let's see. Should I? This has got some word count.
That wasn't even you. That was just like the normal person.
Me, yeah.
The normal person that says you shish to Jay. Yeah, you fucking shish to Jay.
So
how about you smell like you fucking shish to Jay?
All right, so let me blast through this one. We got a beefy one here.
From who?
From James Hazelden. Good evening to those of you of New Jersey and everyone else listening, wherever you are, except Jay. Jay, fuck you, Jay.
Oh, fuck you too, you cheap bastard.
I haven't said that in a while. I want to make sure he knows he's special.
No, good.
He says, Punisher was great, but he's not a normal human. I believe he does have a superpower in this series. It's not super obvious. Well, actually it is if you think about it. There's no way you can just shrug off that much pain. The guy's a freaking berserker in combat. When you have an arrow shaft stuck on your right shoulder, your arm will not be usable. You're not going to be able to lift your arm or even use it as a rest to help aim a carbine left-handed. And when you get shot, as much as he does, that pain is not as easily shrugged off or ignored. His ability to ignore pain and continue on without being severely handicapped or incapacitated by the pain, and in this case, the arrow able to be used by his right arm, even though as much as he was, I don't know, I'm losing track of the sentence here, is beyond explained away by adrenaline. So he just watched Death Note on Netflix. I'm not even going to bother reading any of the rest of that because.
See, I would have thought that the superpower he was speaking of would be the ability to produce blood really, really fast. And heal really fast.
I thought you were going to say that the superpower is probably be his artistic ability and being able to reproduce that Punisher skull on anything. But let's just move along. So he's basically kind of giving this thing a hard time, this Death Note on Netflix. But we all knew that was going to be a rough. Anywho, this is an Americanized, severely watered-down version of the anime. And that's basically what the gist has been since that came out. And to the question I teased about in chat last week. While I know they won't do it in Deadpool 2, in the post-credit fun scenes, will Deadpool have the Infinity Gauntlet? All right, that's it for today. I proofread this for what it's worth. Hopefully, it was easier to read. But I have been sipping on Everclear for most of the Death Note thing I'm watching, so whatever. Everclear seemed to work for you. Maybe keep that up. As much as I was trying to plow through that, it had less of those autocorrect issues.
We can live beside the ocean.
But I would love to see Deadpool have the Infinity Gauntlet in a post-credit scene it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't because that's not within the Marvel universe technically.
Yeah, and it's Deadpool.
Yeah,
it'd be funny though.
Yeah.
If he's got it on and he wipes his ass in the toilet with
was just gonna say,
you know what I mean, something like that.
Pulls a dingleberry out of his crack and puts it into one of the notches on the glove.
Yeah. I got the brownstone.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Look at that. We just wrote the fucking
That's it.
Deadpool 3 trailer.
Dom, you missed it. We just wrote the after scene for Deadpool 3. For Deadpool 2.
I had to pee.
Okay, sorry.
I've had 2 beers.
Oh my gosh.
Two beers and it's just like.
Are you gonna be okay?
I mean, I'm not drunk, but it's obviously, but it's like the piss valve just opens up after 2.
You broke the seal.
Yeah.
That's it. Now you can be going all night.
Exactly.
All right, so that gives us that's it for James. James, thank you very much.
See you, James.
I'm drinking soda and what is this?
Johnny Black Label.
Paint thinner. Next one's from our buddy Wesley.
Mr. Regular like clockwork.
Young Master
Wes. Yes.
Hey, you gentlemen. How long do you end up having leftovers from Thanksgiving?
Till Monday.
That's fair. That's probably fair, actually. If the Monday, if it's in there, throw
Tuesday
it
it starts getting refrigerator taste.
You can peel that off.
No, we don't want that.
Yeah, get some Arm & Hammer for your refrigerator.
It's true.
Here's a very interesting question. When will you do another Facebook Live version of the show? Not sure, but I can tell you it'll be in the future. Sometime in the future.
Episode 420.
Thank you, Karnak.
Whatever I can do for you.
Episode 420.
There you go. Okay. There you go. And probably I'll be so stoned I'll forget to even set it up on that one.
Right.
Yeah. How many superheroes is too many for one movie?
63.
All of them.
Yeah, it does feel like
15 minutes.
15. I feel like
I guess that means Dom's out of here in 15 minutes.
I think so.
I'm out of here in like
5, like right now.
63
so,
seconds.
So Dom, I'm going to throw it to you. How many superheroes is too many superheroes for a movie, for one movie?
36,000. No, wait, what is it? 8,000, 2,500, 600
mutants. Oh.
That Rent song, whatever that Rent song is, whatever that fucking Rent song is. You know,
These guys don't know.
Yeah.
And I only know it from hearing it on the radio, radio commercial all the time.
Yeah.
See Rent now in its 25th year on Broadway.
I mean, that movie, that's a good film.
Did you cry?
I cried at that fucking film.
Did you tear up? You teared up a little bit. Got misty?
Absolutely.
A couple 2-3 heroes.
A couple 2-3 tears.
Couple 6-7 Ds.
A couple 2-3 droplets of sadness.
40. I never saw the Broadway play. I would love to, but I think it's off Broadway now at this point. So.
Yeah. And I don't mean like off Broadway, like it's in a smaller theater. It's just completely off. It's off.
But the movie was a killer. The movie was good, and it did really well.
You know what? You just brought up a point, though. Back in the day, when they would advertise Broadway shows on television, they would always do something like really, like a sinister voice would come out, like 42nd Street at the Garden Theater.
See Cats. See Cats. You know, it's
the guy who smoked 4 packs right before the recording session.
My Fair Lady at the Broadway Theater. See Cats at the Winter Garden Theater for the 108th year in a row. A chorus line. Bring your children. We like your children.
It's like a chorus line in a horror movie.
I think they got the guy from the Boar's Head commercial. That's what it sounds like.
Boar's Head. Les Miserables.
On that note,
loves Les Miserables.
All right, Dom Torrey breaking out early, Dom. Right at the end of the show.
Dom Torrey, ladies and gentlemen.
You made it
Go make that
through.
money.
You made it to the end. Have fun tonight. Be careful. Good luck.
I would say I'll see you next Saturday, but I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it
You
next
already know
Saturday.
you're out? Okay.
Yeah, I have
All
a
right.
big exam next Saturday.
All right, so keep this in mind.
Well, prostate exam.
You have put out the pitch for a pitch time. So we will hold that
For the week after.
for whenever you're here
following
next.
week.
Whenever you're here next.
The following
And
I'll be here till May.
what'd you say you have? You have something for school next week? Is that what you said?
I have the LSAT next Saturday.
Well, good luck to you.
Yeah,
And good luck. And I'm going to just say congratulations because I know you're going to rock it.
You're going to do good, Brad. Don't worry about it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Stop crying. You're always fucking crying.
I'm not
Fucking
crying.
big baby. I'm sorry. You're a big fucking wham wham. That's what you are. You're big wham wham. All right, folks. I would love.
If they fail you, Bob and I will drive up there.
It'd be great if everybody in the chat room could just give a big
Be
round
the
of applause for Dom Torrey. Dom, talk to you soon, buddy.
Later, Dom.
Oh my God. All right. Oh, Wesley's saying he's got a clip he's got to pull for you.
Who?
Did you see those clips that Wesley put out last week? That it was audio clips he pulled from a couple episodes.
I saw that he did do that. Did I listen to them? No.
Right. Fair enough. Well, he's got one waiting for you. So
Okay.
he hasn't put it up yet, but he's working on it.
Thank you, Wesley, in advance.
So that one you'll listen to, I guess.
It's just the fact that he put the work in to do this. Is
No,
great.
absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
I just think it's I just hope that you listen to at least the one that is about you.
Well,
or has you in it.
just tag me. I'm in Man of Steel books these days. That's going to change again because a lot of people don't know it's me. I
that's
come
true.
across that, so
Yeah.
it's going to be like Uncle J something.
Uncle J Steelbooks. Steelcock.
Uncle J, the Man of Steel books.
There you go.
Steelcock.
It's a porn name, Man of Steelcock.
A lot of cock talk in this episode.
Cock L.
Do some editing.
Yeah, really clean up the
Too much
show.
cock.
Clean up the show so it sounds like the audio version of Swiss cheese. Just holes everywhere.
We'll just have Steph come and fix it for us.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Unless the little gremlin gets caught in here, little Frankie Mogwai.
Yeah. Oh. Who the fuck is that?
That's some kind
I know the name. People are thinking it's me, and it's not.
Yeah. Fuck. Palmer in the chat room at Uncle J Steele's books.
Yeah, maybe that'll be a chat room game for next week.
Come up with
choose Uncle J's domain name on Twitter.
Put down the.
That'll open up a whole can of fucking.
We got to make sure that whatever wins, you have to keep for like a week.
At least a week, and put it in the doc now, so we don't forget, please.
You're done now. That's it.
I'm opening Pandora's fucking box.
Start writing them now, kids. Start writing them now.
Yeah,
Don't put them in the chat room now. Save it for next week.
Save it. That's your homework.
That's your homework. Bob, get yourself set up. We're going to start folding this up. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we did do a little bit of an impromptu Thanksgiving episode on the Patreon account, but you don't have to be supporting us on Patreon to hear this particular episode. Go to patreon.com/wickedtheory, and you can listen to it there. It's the most recent post. It's a small audio file. It's about a half hour, 45 minutes of me, Bob, and Ed kind of just bullshitting on Thanksgiving night.
Yes.
Check that out.
I did a little brief thing.
Jay's got a little video you can find on his Twitter account.
I was in the bag when I did it.
A little sousy, drinking some red
sauce.
A little red drink.
I tell you, they have this carbonated flavored water. I keep forgetting the name of it, and I'll give it to you next week.
And what
Put that in the doctor.
And what were you topping it off with?
With rum and Jack Daniels together.
Together?
Yeah, that's why it was a little dark.
Yeah.
So
rum,
it was
rum,
a little.
Was it spiced rum and Jack Daniels?
No. It was
clear rum.
It was Bacardi Solera and Jack Daniels bourbon.
So what is Bacardi Solera?
It's like another one of these top shelf Bacardi rums.
It's just a straight brand, or it's a flavor?
It's called I guess it's the Solera line.
Okay, so it's just it's another straight vodka. It's not a flavored thing or anything.
Kind of
like
top shelf rummish.
All right. So with that, fucking people want to find that stuff, they can find it on your Twitter account, which is Uncle J.
Uncle J at Man of Steel Books as of right now.
Man of Steel Books. And our brother Bob.
At Bob WTPC.
And you can find me at Wicked Theory. You can find Dom Torrey, the most recent escapee, at Dom_Torrey, Torre. You can find the show, wickedtheory.com, and on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and wherever good podcasts are given away for free. And live every Saturday night on Mixler, at mixler.com/wickedtheory, Wicked-Theory. Download the Mixler app and look for us. Search for a Wicked Theory.
I got Uncle J. Final thought before we riff out.
All right, make it snappy.
Ed and Sarah did an amazing job doing the Justice League review on the DCTV report.
Yes.
And I wasn't here when you guys did this, but I'm eagerly anticipating Lethal Weapon 5 with Gibson and Glover.
Nice.
That's it.
Nice.
I'm done.
All right, Monkey Poo Studios, I saw you sneak in. Stick around. Don't go nowhere. We're taking a quick break. Half a song. Bob, take us out of here.
The Wicked Theory podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid. Plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.